So it seems like everyone is rushing to condemn the terrorist group Antifa, the most significant of these being the Department of Homeland Security, according to Politico. Politico claims to have obtained some documents that say federal authorities have been warning state and local officials since early 2016 that leftist extremists known as Antifa have become increasingly confrontational and dangerous, so much so that the Department of Homeland Security formally classified their activities as domestic terrorist violence. Interesting. Previously unreported documents disclosed that by April 2016, authorities believed that anarchist extremists were the primary instigators of violence at public rallies against a range of targets. Interesting. I'll leave the link to this article in the description. But it hasn't been just Homeland Security, and honestly, I wonder if this had anything to do with the petition from the White House petition to formally recognize Antifa as a terrorist organization. I did a video on this. As of right now, at the time of recording this, it has reached 339,286 signatures. We only need 100,000, so that's quite a significant number. And honestly, even though I promoted it in a video, I didn't really expect anything to come up with it. It was more just hope that someone might actually say something. But maybe this is just pure coincidence that these leaks are coming out at this time, or maybe there's actual influence here, because it seems that not only has the Department of Homeland Security been condemning Antifa, it seems that Nancy Pelosi has actually come out and released a statement condemning Antifa violence in Berkeley, California. Her statement here says, "Our democracy has no room for inciting violence or endangering the public, no matter the ideology of those who commit such acts. The violent actions of people calling themselves Antifa in Berkeley this weekend deserve unequivocal condemnation, and the perpetrators should be arrested and prosecuted. In California, as across all of our great nation, we have deep reverence for the constitutional right to peaceful dissent and free speech. Nonviolence is fundamental to that right. Let us use this sad event to reaffirm that we must never fight hate with hate, and to remember the values of peace, openness, and justice that represent the best of Antifa." Now, as a politician, I'm assuming she did this just because there's a lot of pressure on her to do this, and I don't think she did this out of the kindness of her heart, But hey, that's a victory for us. Nancy Pelosi has actually come out and condemned Antifa, and it's not just her. She seems to be the only major left-wing politician I've seen at this time. However, other left-wing sites like Vox has even written an article called "The Case Against Antifa" that came out on August 29th. On top of this, Mother Jones even. Now, they didn't really come out and condemn Antifa, but what they did do is write a small article, just an excerpt from the LA Times, about how Antifa has been violent in Berkeley, and commenting at the end, let me help out here. Antifa good, violent Antifa bad. So, not a condemnation. They're still saying Antifa is good, but they condemned the violence coming from Antifa. And considering Mother Jones, I won't take it, but that's a step in the right direction, so good for them. But also, Trevor Noah has even come out on The Daily Show and saying Antifa are vegan ISIS. He said that while some members simply publicly shame white supremacists or reveal their personal information, others instigate violence or cause property damage. So again, somewhat of a condemnation. I'll take it. That's pretty good, considering the abrupt silence from so many other people. He says, breaking a window was a symbolic act. Most people see that and think, great, now I've got to walk a whole block up to the next Starbucks. Who's that supposed to convince? Yeah, so, and the Antifa, and a lot of Antifa people on Twitter have actually come out and started complaining about Trevor Noah, throwing all these accusations at him about white supremacy and all that. Here, this is maybe the most pathetic thing this abomination of a show has ever done. Another person said, can't believe y'all are really using right-wing propaganda on this show and agreeing with it. This is equivalent to Nazi sympathizing. White supremacists will see this as an opportunity to continue hate crimes and advocate genocide. Didn't realize Trevor Noah and TDS were also in the business of producing neo-Nazi recruitment videos like this. Someone accused them of being like the Daily Stormer. We should just wait on who exactly to stop the Nazi who organized daily to harm us. This movement is to prevent... grammar. It's Twitter. Okay, so there's a bunch of these. I left a link in the description to the article that lists a lot more of these. These are hilarious. Now, there's a few others that haven't yet. Salon has not condemned them yet, but hey, it's Salon. But this is a start. All these people, all within a few days of each other, have come out and said, hey, these people are bad. I condemn this. We don't want to stop here. We got to keep the pressure going because there are plenty of other people out there that are like, yeah, they're not so bad. But notice that even though nobody's saying this, they actually proved Trump right about his Charlottesville statement that there are bad people on both sides. Because obviously all of these people I just mentioned have been saying, yes, there's white supremacists and they're all bad, and like the alt-right are bad on the far right, and these people are all terrible. Well, yeah, so we've gotten that much. The one side, the alt-right, they've condemned them. But now they're coming out and condemning Antifa, who was a large part of the counter-protesters in Charlottesville. So if they're condemning both sides, aren't they saying that there's violence on both sides? That both sides have bad people? So, interesting that they're now, without saying it, they are coming out and saying, Trump was right about there being bad people on both sides. Interesting. Oh, and even, I completely forgot about it, CNN actually came out. They were one of the first, honestly, probably, 2 weeks ago. They actually came out and said, hey, Antifa is bad. They didn't denounce them directly, but what they did was they wrote an article on them that was actually pretty unforgiving. They were like, yeah, these people are violent. Yeah, these people don't believe in property. That's why they destroy things. They don't believe property destruction is violence. So while they didn't actually denounce them, it was a pretty condemning article. I did a video on this article, audit number 12. I'll link it in the description. But yeah, I will give credit where credit is due in that sense. But that's all I wanted to do. Let me know if there's anyone else I missed that has come out and condemned Antifa that you wouldn't originally expect them to. Post that in the comments. I'll add it in the description if I see it and it's accurately sourced. But let me know what you think about this. Do you think any of these people are actually coming to their senses, or do you think that they're just doing it because of political pressure, like I suspect Nancy Pelosi is? Or take the Department of Homeland Security, for example. Politico said they've been labeling them as this since 2016. And they've been warning state and local officials since early 2016. But yet, every time there's a big rally, it seems like in Charlottesville and Berkeley and all that, the police stand down. So does that have anything to do with this? Are these fake documents? Who knows? Let me know what you think in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed. Share it around. Subscribe for more. And thank you for watching.